Right guys, just a little bit on what capacitors really are. We've got a big capacitor here, it's fairly huge, it has 100,000 microfarads, so that's 0.1 farad of capacitance, ability to store charge for every volt that I put on. Said the other day that capacitance, if you took the whole world, well, that was based on silicon. This is much more advanced. This is something called electrolytic capacitor, so you can get really high values of capacitance on here. Now, its other point, the breakdown voltage is rated at anything above 50 volts, so they recommend it is going lower, so therefore 30 volts and so on. However, I'm going to connect it to a 6-volt bulb so you can see what we're doing. So because it's a 6-volt bulb, I'm going to connect it to 6 volts on the power pack, and that is instantly filled up, it's instantly charged. So I've stored energy in my big capacitor, and if I connect it to my indicator, in this case a bulb, I'll just put it around the back to make it easier to see, then what you can see is it lights up the bulb, but the bulb fades. Okay, and now it's pretty much completely gone. So what happens is it's great at storing charge, but it can only store a fixed amount of charge. It's not changing it all the time like a power pack, it's not bringing it in, or like a continuous chemical reaction in a battery. So it's very similar to a battery, but it doesn't actually store the charge up a huge amount of charge, so it can't be used as a battery. If I just run that again, and again I will hold this a bit closer now so you can see it right close up, fully charged. There we go, it's fading, 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 fading. Okay, so what we can do is, you may notice that it faded really quickly at the beginning and then took a long time to die out. It's not a nice linear discharge. What we can do is, if I just quickly go through again, charge it up, there we go, it's instantly charged. Okay, there's no resistance really in the wires, so I can do that in pretty much in an instant. What I can do is I can run it through a variable resistor, and I can adjust it as it's running. Now if I adjust it while it's running, what should happen is, if I do this really well, what will happen is I can actually adjust the charge so it stays the same brightness throughout. Okay. Now a bit of a challenge, and again I'll draw this right down, see if you can judge as I bring it in how well I manage to do it. So I'm going to plug it in and then start adjusting. Okay, very bright, try and keep it the same brightness, and then that's it. So actually discharge is much quicker because I'm emptying it more quickly. But if I just want to find out how much charge is in it, then I can measure the current. If I keep it steady and I steady current, then I can measure the time it takes for me to get to the end and it empties. Q equals IT. Capacitors really are quite a simple thing, just an ability to store charge.